All wars are about money. Israel is the tax haven of investors and billionaires who control much of the world population by issuing currency as debt repayable with compound interest. This city was built on stolen land using the tax money stolen from the workers in the USA and the United Kingdom. This area in the Middle East was referred to as the Levant and was inhabited by local people living in harmony for thousands of years until empires started drawing lines on maps and declaring that these were borders separated the inhabitants who must compete instead of carrying on peaceful trade. Palestine was a British protectorate from 1922 until 1948, when it was invaded and parts were colonized by foreigners. Whenever we trade our time or our expertise, we engage in a contract that transfers ownership of values between the two parties. The government makes laws that entitle the moneylenders to the ownership of property that is then recorded in official ledgers and documents as proof of ownership. The government tells the central banks to issue debt to the moneylenders, who then charge interest and get rich for doing nothing. There is a lot of this fraud going on in every country, but now we can check it all out using the gigantic adding machine we know as the internet. Computers are just adding machines that have millions of switches in a web that allows us to describe a path from any point to any other point. This allows any individual human being to react with any other human being without an intermediary. In the same way, we trade items of value in a form of barter that presently involves many parties who confirm ownership of the two items described in the contract. Trade usually involves tokens of value that we call money. We have to trust this money or we cannot trade at all. Governments and dictators create currency out of thin air and have made it illegal for anyone, except them, to issue this form of money. This gives the government complete control of the population as they reward their enforcers, the police and the army, with currency that they create. The whole system relies on faith and breaks down when people no longer trust the currency. The system has made the notion of taxes ludicrous, so the elite have invented propaganda to brain the human population to believe in the whole system. Anyone who does not believe in the system is either imprisoned or murdered. The same applies to those who have faith in many religions. The elite use this method to control whole countries. In reality, nobody pays taxes, but we believe that everybody is taxed to provide the money on which the government functions. The government gives people bits of paper that says they have earned 100% of your effort but are being paid 85% of that amount in currency because 15% is being used to provide the goods and services needed to maintain the structure of the community. This is an illusion that you can see through with a simple computer spreadsheet. However, there is now a new form of money that has evolved because of the failure of all the existing monetary systems and the attack on humanity made by the invisible alien we call COVID-19. This new form of money exists because the thinking power of all the users of the internet. This is achieved electronically on computers that are really just adding machines. Money is just numbers on computers, and now there is another format called cryptocurrency that allows people to trade peer-to-peer without a third party. This has been described as an open ledger, but it is really just an open relational database with timestamps on each trade. Each contract is a record of an exchange of property or trade and is a public record with date and time that cannot be changed. The blockchain resides on many computers, and the content of each block is known to all the computers in the chain. The software updates every block as every contract is agreed between the two parties of each particular trade. The new money, each Bitcoin for example, is the contract agreed by the owners of each block that they have created or bought. Because these contracts have real value and are not just promises to pay a debt that was dreamed up out of thin air by government. This money has real value. The owner of each CPM block in the CPM blockchain, the keyring, has the value of all the years of work that is in that memory. It is like owning the key to a library that opens the door to knowledge about the science of corrosion control.